going on, people? Welcome to United View. What's going on? Another transfer update for you lot. I'm with Mr. Dazza Ben. What are you saying? You come through. You're the first guest.
Yeah.
New channel. We just hit 50k today.
Already?
Yeah, already. Crazy.
Oh, I love that. Love
mad.
it.
And you're the first man to come through.
I appreciate it.
I don't know whether that's a good thing.
Fellow Gooner as well. Love it. Love it.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
Why?
That you're even the first guest on.
I'm not even a United fan either.
Yeah, I know that, but you're a pundit now.
Yeah, okay. I hear that.
You're a pundit, so I thought you were quite level-headed. Yeah. And you say the right stuff. You're doing well on TalkSport, doing well, Optus, Sky Sports, all that scene. So I thought you'll be a good person to speak some sense on what you think United need, transfers. But then now you're here in person, and I've seen some of the tapes. I've seen some of the tapes before we started filming, and I wanted to send it back, but you know what I mean? I don't know. But listen, we've got to start with a bit of transfer news, and the latest news that is out there is Leon Goretzka. Manchester United are interested in Leon Goretzka. Of Bayern Munich, obviously, and the rumours are that they want him to replace Paul Pogba should he leave. But Goretzka is listening to offers, but he wants to really renew his contract at Bayern. What are you saying about the Pogba situation? Goretzka maybe replacing him? Just everything about that.
I mean, I don't think Goretzka should be a like-for-like replacement for Pogba because they're completely different. We've seen that in this championship. I'm a big fan of Goretzka, as I always have been. If United could get him, brilliant. Obviously, you'd like to think we'd expect there's going to be loads of clubs that are going to be. If he's available, there's going to be loads of clubs that need that type of midfielder, but not to replace Paul Pogba. And I think the frustrating thing for yourself and fellow United fans is that when he puts on that France shirt, he looks completely different. Like he looks. People often compare him and Bruno, the impact that Bruno's had since he's been at United, and they're still really waiting for Pogba for a sustained period to really set a light. But I think we've seen on the world stage, there's levels. And we've seen Bruno Fernandes, when he's playing with big players at Portugal, hasn't really stepped up. We've seen Pogba put France on his back at times. Some of the passing, the range of passing. So I'd be doing it. If it was a case of sell Pogba to bring Goretzka, I'm not doing that. I'm keeping Pogba because the quality that he's got is outrageous. But if you can add Goretzka to what you've already got, then wow, I think Man United are going places. Yeah,
Goretzka is a good player. He's a very good player. The thing that gets me about this is that the whole using the situation to get a better deal at Bayern, like the subplot with that is like, you know what? Yeah, I'll listen to see what's out there, but that's more to make a Bayern worry.
That's happened a few times with United. I think Sergio Ramos was the one.
Always does it, bro. and then even just gone because he is going to leave Real Madrid. He's like, yeah, I do want to go PSG, but if it's between United and City, I'll pick United because you've got better history. Bro, we're not your castaways. We're not scraps. Last man getting picked in the playground.
Is that his using United?
That was you before you made it. Then you realise they picked me last. But I'm scared of that happening. That's what I mean. Like. But the Pogba, do you think that Man United should be going all out to keep Pogba? Going into the last year, some United fans, let me just give you a bit of context what's going on over here. Some United fans are like, we've seen other players leave before. We've seen better players leave than Pogba. We've survived. We've seen Beckham leave. We've seen Ronaldo leave, Cantona, whatever, retired. But do you know what I mean? Or do you see it as, nah, I don't care, man. Like, you just got to break the bank for him. Or do you let him go now?
Well, listen, you're right in what you're saying. We've seen Manchester United get rid of big players, even the Yapstam, people in their prime where you're thinking they can't survive without them. Yeah. But that was always Sir Alex Ferguson's kind of mentality. Not one player is bigger than United. And Paul Pogba was the same. Now, listen, I'd love to see him keep him. But obviously, if you do decide, well, listen, we're going to move on from there, it's not like you're letting a player go that's carried United since he's been there and he's put in 10 out of 10 performances at least 80% of the time. He hasn't, unfortunately. So I think if he was to leave, yeah, of course you can replace him. We're talking about Manchester United Football Club, arguably still the biggest club in the world. So I don't think there'd be a big issue if Pogba was to leave. But again, seeing his performances in these championships, him coming back to United, you think, oh, if he can hit it off, Bruno can obviously keep doing what he does when he plays for United. And then you add one more in there, a holder, whether it be, I know Goretzka doesn't want to do that, but someone of real quality. Because we've seen when Pogba plays next to Kante, who's obviously predominantly a holder, and
someone to facilitate Pogba's game, innit?
Exactly, someone to do his running for him in terms of that way, running backwards for him.
Is that a bad thing? Like,
no.
You played the game at a high level, very high level. Do you see it like, if that's your niche of what you're good at, do you see it as a bad thing of like, yeah, but you should be able to do that, there's no excuses? Or like, nah, the team needs to play around his strengths then?
Of course, you'd like to find the midfielder that can go both ways, but even if you look at him at Juventus when he was playing unbelievable, we had Pirlo just sitting there for him.
True.
When he plays for France, he's got Kante doing all the legwork. So if Man United bought him because they want him to do what he was doing for Juventus and what he does for France, then you've certainly got to play.
He's never been like a boxer, got holding, win back the ball.
No, exactly. You might as well go, right, this is what we're going to do. Here's your two holders. Go and do what you do. And I'm sure if you give him that kind of freedom, he can do that.
Well, that's the latest news at the moment, is the fact that United are interested in Goretzka, which me personally, this is what we do here on United View. We just talk about what's in the media. We don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I could just give my opinion on it, and I can't see that happening. I think they're
too different.
It's too different.
Yeah.
It's not a like for like replacement at first, so I think that's odd. I'll be quite. I was going to say upset, then that's a bit extra. But I'll be like, that doesn't really make sense. And then on top of that, the bit of the reports that were saying was like, well, he wants it. He's listening to offers, but really he wants the new contract. Do you know what I mean? That line there, I'm like,
don't like it.
Nah, man.
That kind of stuff happens to Arsenal, man. That happens to us.
You lot, that's, it should happen to you. We're big man club, you know what I mean? You lot should, you lot signed a couple of little men, I don't even know who they are, 8 million or whatever. The next signing that I've got to talk about this, the Sancho deal is imminent. Mr. Marcus Rashford said he got hacked. He said he got hacked.
That one.
Them footballers, they always say, my phone, I don't know, I left it out, the boys took it on the coach. You know what I mean? You just probably saying that, I don't know, Robbie Keane took my phone, I don't know if it was these days. But they said, can you confirm Sancho? And he put yes with a kiss. Yeah, he's put yes with a kiss. And then, so obviously it's all gone off last night.
Yeah.
And then this morning he's gone back after being hacked. All good now. So I don't know, they probably just got excited, just beat Germany, they're on a team bus and going back to hotel, and he's like, should we do it, bro? Should we do it? Like, do it. You press it. I'm looking for
Send. Oh no, we should have done that.
All the people are ringing in from the club, Marcus, what you doing?
Yeah.
Like, we don't really want to tell you off because that wouldn't look good because we're not really allowed to, Marcus, but really and truly, bro, you need to delete that.
Yeah.
That's what's happened. But in all honesty, it does look like this deal is all but done. Jadon Sancho, good? Happy with that for United?
Yes, he's a good player. He's been brilliant in the Bundesliga. I mean, you talk about a guy. What did he get? 16 goals, 20 assists last season, which is a madness in terms of numbers.
And that's considering he's had a bad season.
Exactly. Yeah. Do I think it's what United need right now? I don't. I think there are more pressing matters like another centre back to play alongside Maguire. I think maybe a proper conventional holding midfield player, someone that could do with good quality. So I think they would have been the two positions first. But if you've got a player whose quality is Jadon Sancho, of that level, of that ilk, and he's saying that he wants to come to United, then sometimes you've got to make it happen. Now, I just worry about, in terms of the development of, say, Mason Greenwood, who we know, arguably, not even arguably, at Manchester United, he's the best finisher. Like, I've never seen a youngster finish so composed like he does. Clean, everything's clean right and left. What does that mean for him? Is he going to then move to centre forward? Maybe to play, maybe understudy to Cavani. Jadon Sancho comes in on the right, maybe Marcus on the left.
Got on the right as well.
Yeah, you still got Martial there as well. So, of course, listen, getting Jadon Sancho is a massive coup for United. I mean, what a signing he is, what a player. But I just thought Manchester United would have maybe prioritised other areas of the pitch.
That's the biggest thing for me, and I've been saying that, and you guys here on United, you will know that. If we get Jadon Sancho, I'm not going to moan, because he's a very good player.
Yeah, you can't moan a player of that level.
100%, he's a very good player.
Yeah.
I just, with it being Man United and the way we move, I just get worried that we're spending the best part of 77.4 million, whatever it is, on him, which is the massive chunk of our transfer budget. And like you said, we've got to get a centre-half. We'll get there later on in the show where I want to talk about Varane and the United centre-back options, because I love him. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's available for cheap, but we'll get there. But we need a centre-back, 100% agree, and we need the central midfielder. So for me, I'm like, Jadon Sancho is going to make us better, of course. He'll make any team better. But if it's Sancho, but then no one else after that,
then you think,
I would rather have spent 77 million on a centre-half and another central midfielder.
Well, you look at United last season, their problem wasn't scoring goals. So that's why I think, okay, well, you're just adding to what you've already got. Like that was an issue, like where you're thinking, scratching around why we need someone who's going to create chances, we need someone who's going to score. I think you've got that with Rashford, Martial, Cavani, Greenwood. You've got these guys that can do that. So you just add another piece to that. But then defensively, at times, And I know your record defensively was quite good actually in the end, even though it surprised me.
In the end, but when you see someone go,
exactly, you start thinking, well,
basis,
really? So I thought, and certainly in the middle, and seeing how again Pogba operates, we've seen Bruno, and you can't kind of, the numbers speak for itself, the fact since he's been at United. But I just thought that real top quality holding midfield player and a centre half, which you probably would have got for what, 100 million.
Yeah.
And then if they go, you know what, we'll go again.
Yeah.
Then maybe you can kind of prioritise Jadon Sancho, getting him in. But I mean, listen, he's still a very, very good player, top player coming in. But it just surprised me that you've gone front to back rather than the other way.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what plays into that is the fact that we wanted him badly last year. Wanted him badly last year. Played our hand in the poker, lost. Yeah. Lost in dramatic fashion. They were like, boy, if you want him, you have to pay this by this time.
Yeah.
We're going, yeah, Dortmund, man, whatever, man. Man United, we'll tell you what we're going to give you and when we're going to give it. And they were like, yeah? And then we just like, oh shit, he's been serious.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So you didn't get him.
And then it just went on, and then he's got a year less on his contract now, so they're asking for less money.
Yeah.
And they just went back to what they really wanted from last year. That's why I think it was always going to happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like you said, I just think priority-wise, I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to get excited when he does finally get over the line, holding up the shirt. But I'm going to reserve judgment to the end of the transfer window, because if we don't get anything on top of that, I'm like, nah. But let's actually, can I ask you a quick question?
Go.
Yesterday, I was doing a show and I rang you, but you didn't answer, and then you rang me back later on. KG was sitting there, yeah, and we were talking about Martial. And we was basically saying it's kind of make or break season.
Yeah.
You know, Cavani's there, Greenwood's now going to get a bit more game time up front, maybe, because with Sancho coming in, yeah. So he's like, yeah, man, I'd take a bid for Martial if the right bid come in. And I don't know if you've seen KG a lot, like he says mad stuff. He's not a very sensible person. He's not, and he knows that. But I said, how much do you think Martial will go for? If I say to you, how much do you think is a reasonable price for Martial, considering this climate, considering what he's done at Man United, considering he's 25 now.
So still young.
So he's still young, 25, 26 in December. Take all of that into, and we paid 50 million, 5 years ago, whenever it was.
He's got ability.
Okay. How much, what's the price?
I'm still playing around 40, 50. 40, 50.
40, 50.
Yeah. Max.
And that's max.
I'm not getting higher than that.
Why not?
What am I getting? What am I getting for 40, 50 million? He's not a regular goal scorer. Very streaky in terms of he might have 5 or 6 games, very, very good. Then he goes missing again. So consistency is a big issue as well. So if I'm paying certainly upwards of a 50 million, 60 million, I need consistency.
Would you pay 70 million for him?
70 million for who?
For Martial.
No.
Why not?
70 million?
Yeah.
Not a chance. Would you pay that?
No, I wouldn't.
70 million?
I know someone that would.
70 million?
I know someone who pays 70 million.
I'm telling you right now.
Or no, let him go for 70 million.
You wouldn't find a club that's going to pay 70 million for Martial.
Definitely not.
70 million?
Yeah, so 7-0, bro.
No chance. Not a chance.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd accept 70 million as a United fan.
Yeah, of course you would.
For 70 million right now.
You're driving there yourself.
I would. And that's not being disrespectful with Martial, because I like him, and like you said, it's hot and cold. It's a big season for him.
70 million, no
but
way.
If someone came in and put a bid on the table of 70 million, of course I'd take it. But what I was trying to explain to KG is that you live in a mad place like that.
That will never happen.
Will it never happen?
Not even PSG, who throw the money about, would not 70 million. As I've said, if you looked at his numbers, I bet they don't probably look that bad in terms of his goals to games ratio.
Well, actually, I've got that here. Actually, well, maybe the goals to games ratio, but this is his. These are his numbers since he's been there. Yeah. So this is number 16, 8, 11, 13, 12, 23, and then he got 7 last year.
And you got 70 million for that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I thought his numbers were a little bit better than that. But as I said, listen, we've seen on occasions where there is a player there in terms you can't take his ability away from him. He's dribbling on the ball, a little bit erratic in front of goal at times. But I just don't think if you're going to spend 70 million on a centre forward and say, right, Martial, I'm signing you for 70 million, you're going to play week in, week out, you're my guy. I don't think you can count on him to show up week in, week out. Because there will be times where, I'm a centre forward, I know, you go through these patches where the ball just won't go in the net. Yeah. You're doing everything you can to get it in there, and it just won't go in there. Now you can either sink and you go, oh, or you just go, I'm going to keep getting in there, I'm going to keep getting there, and eventually it will go in. I'm not quite sure he's made up of that same stuff.
I did try and have this conversation yesterday with a person who isn't as clever and sensible as Darren.
70 million.
He said 70 million. I tried to say it. Some people even said in the comments, you know what, Flex, maybe KG's got a point because he's young, he can still go. But I'm saying if you slap 70 M's down on Martial, one, you got more money in sense, but two, you have to have that guarantee of knowing that the reason I'm going to spend 70 M's on a number 9 is because I know his return is going to be 25.
Not even consistently, but consistently at least getting between 15 and 20 goals every single season.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, on that, I just wanted to just put that to somebody else instead of KG because talk shit. On to a centre back, though. You spoke about it to play alongside Harry Maguire, Lindelof. I just think leaves a little bit to be desired for, even in the Euros we've seen.
I saw him yesterday. So,
Well, that one, he was behind him. Maybe it's the centre half behind him should speak a bit more communication. But he did lose his man, though. He did. Then he was trending on Twitter after that. So
was he?
Yeah, he was.
We give the centre forward a free header from 6 yards out at the end of extra time.
Was that his fault?
Well, communication. You said it.
Communication. Yeah, and that's something that happens at United a lot.
But you haven't been punished as much as maybe you should have done.
Yeah, that's true. So we do need another centre half. Rafael Varane. Oof. Is that proper? And for what's been reported, the best part of 50 million euros because he's in his last.
Well, this is my point, and you just said it there, right? KG, come on, this is what I'm saying. So you're talking about. So he won the World Cup, didn't he, with France?
Won the World Cup.
He's won the Champions League
4 times.
Yeah. He's
Copa del Rey.
Copa del Rey. Any La Ligas?
Yeah, of course.
So you're talking about a player that arguably is quick. I wouldn't say he's had his best Euros, but still, you talk about a top quality centre half for 50 million.
Yeah, 50 million.
And Martial hasn't done a fraction of that.
Yeah.
70.
Yeah.
Well, now listen. If you, if you could get Varane, I mean that'd be
no-brainer.
No-brainer. I mean, to be fair, against the Swiss, obviously didn't go to plan. Yeah. On the ground, the pace,
the recovery is mad,
unbelievable.
And being in the right place, there was a couple clearances that were really crucial.
He let me down a little bit in terms of, I think they bullied him a little bit, the Swiss, like putting crosses in. I don't think he really fancied that, but you'd have to say if you can get Varane for and now he's only 28 or 29. For 50 million, for me that's a no-brainer. If you say go and sign Sancho for 70 right now or Varane for 50, oh my goodness, Varane.
That's what I've been saying.
Straight away, Varane.
100%. And
Varane and Maguire. Listen, I'm not
solid. Yeah, what do you think that partnership will be like?
I'm not Maguire's biggest fan, but he clearly has an impact on whatever team that he plays in. Do you know what I mean? In terms of even for England, bringing out the ball and playing it forward, he can get his head on things. Him and Varane, I mean.
That would be a nice partnership.
Really nice partnership.
I think we need to go all out for Varane. And the thing is, it's not even all out. Like, the guy wants to leave, hasn't signed a new contract.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a lot of reports saying it. You never quite know, but the links are really strong. Yeah. And we're in dialogue.
Who else is in for him? PSG?
PSG, but they're more in for Ramos. So if Ramos does go there...
Would you have taken Ramos?
I'll take Ramos. I'll take Ramos for a year or two. Just look at what Thiago Silva's done.
I did wonder that,
Yeah, but... If it's between the two...
Oh yeah, Varane, 50.
I'll go Varane, 100%. He's only 20, like you said, 27, 28. Won everything there is to win alongside the likes of Ramos. But and for me, Harry Maguire, I need him to be next to someone that he looks at and goes,
Okay, I'm having you.
I mean, like Pau Torres at Villarreal, and he's done all right at Spain. He just gives me Lindelof vibes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Neat, tidy a bit, but has he really got it? He's young, so I don't know.
I get that.
But I don't want Harry Maguire to have to be putting his arm around a younger player saying...
It's like when he plays into Stones a little bit and he's looking at Stones going, all right.
We can play. We can shore that side, we can play.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying there.
And then hopefully Paul Pogba and another central midfielder and he looks ahead. So we'll start to build something, but we got to go all out for a defender, man. Well, what have you made of the centre-back pairing of, whether it's Maguire and Bailly or Lindelof and Bailly or Tuanzebe?
Do you know what? I think if you could get... listen, I was really impressed with Tuanzebe against PSG, was it?
Locked off Mbappe.
Him and Wan-Bissaka on that side, it was like they both went, you know what, I really fancy this today. But then he kind of didn't build on that. I don't know if Ollie took him out. I thought he took him out, so I thought, okay. Eric Bailly probably looks like your most kind of capable player next to Maguire in terms of he can defend, a little bit rash sometimes with the tackles, but defensively is okay. But again, you can't kind of hang your hat on him and go, right, give us 30 games in a season. So I think you need somebody else. Lindelof, as you said, they're a little bit weak. So I think if you can go and get someone like a Varane, where that's an area of the pitch you haven't got to worry about. Because that's when you're playing for a team or a manager, you look at your team and you go, right, the two centre-backs, well, I ain't got to worry about that. Goalkeeping situation, I ain't really got to worry about that. Do you know what I mean? What you don't want to do is have worries about, okay, well, half my partnership is in the centre-backs, okay, what am I going to do the other side? What am I going to do in midfield? Do you know what I mean? You need to be able to go, right, that area is locked off. So if it's Varane and Maguire, I ain't got no concerns about that. They'll be 95% of the time, they'll be fine. So then you can concentrate on other areas, but...
What's that like? Obviously, when you played against Rio Village. Like, we've had conversations like that game when you lot were what, 2-0 up at Old Trafford?
Spurs, yeah.
2-0 up at Spurs, you played in that game.
Scored.
Scored in that game, so you're probably getting gassed running in the tunnel. Got the spring in the
honestly,
step. You probably
promise you, half time we are so happy because we're 2-0 up. I scored. I think Modric got the other one, didn't he? Modric, right? We're laughing and joking in the dressing room, going, right. We've got this, boys. We'll come out. Not everything easy because you're at Old Trafford. This is where Old Trafford's a fortress. So we've come out and gone, boys, we're 2-0 up. We'll see at the first 10 minutes. And we'll go from there. We'll be a bit more conservative. I drop onto Carrick, and we'll just kind of go from there. And
was that the thing? You were supposed to drop off
onto Carrick,
and just affect him a bit. Like,
get around him.
Play.
So that's what we did first half. We'll do that. Second half, they come out. They go 4-2-4, don't they? Formation. Carrick and Scholes. Rooney, Berbatov, Ronaldo, Tevez. Obviously, we've got to beat 5-2. But I got around Carrick. Scholes is getting the ball, just going. Vroom, vroom. Ronaldo, this is like peak Ronaldo. It's not peak, but he's on the way to like. He's just going. Honestly, the intensity that he was playing at, him flying forward, Rooney flying forward, Berber and Tevez just picking up the little pockets. He had no chance.
I look forward when you're seeing that and you're seeing like, Ronaldo's dropping off. This man's doing that. Are you saying like, what are we supposed to do?
It was one of them where.
Or did you believe that we can plug this? Like?
No, it was like wave after wave. Even when we won the ball. Even if they hit the ball up to me, I managed to get hold of it, bring it down, find someone, you'd win it back. And then all of a sudden, it's wave number 2. And it was just a constantly wave after wave, to the point where when we're clearing it, we're not even trying to find me with a pass. They're just clearing it anyway. I'm trying to get after it. Obviously, Rio and Vida. Getting the ball down easily, going back to Van der Sar, he's just popping it out to the fullback, Patrice, whoever it was, and you're going again.
Did you give up?
We didn't give up.
Did you be like, I was sweating?
No, I just end up dropping deeper and deeper, and to the point where I'm standing on the edge of my own box because it's just going all over the place.
Was Rio the best centre-back you ever played against?
Yeah. Ledley King was unbelievable as well.
Yeah, proper.
But Rio and Vidic, I mean, when people kind of make the argument about the greatest centre-halves in Premier League history, Rio doesn't get enough mentions for me because he was proper. He could play, he was quick, like he was always talking, he could get physical if he needed to.
I was going to say, when does to get physical with him or...
Yeah,
would he talk? Would he like...
He would talk, he could try back into him, he could fight, honestly, he could do a lot.
Yeah.
Could do a lot.
So as a striker, so back to our centre-back partnership, if you're saying if it's a Varane Maguire, I'm not saying is it going to be as good as Vidic and Rio.
That'll take some beating, that.
That will take some beating, obviously, but as an opposition forward, would you look at those two, Maguire and Varane, and say, oh, it could be tough today, like, I'm not going to get a lot?
Well, it's one of them where you play against them two and you go, right, let me. I would always look at the slowest one, or where I think I can get a bit of joy. Now, obviously, you talk about Rio and Vidic, you're thinking, where's that coming from? I used to think to myself, well, I'm going to have to kind of play around Vida because I know I'm quicker than him. Yeah. But he is so aggressive that it's...
You didn't fancy it?
Well,
I don't know. You might take me out, I'm not sure.
But with them, you go, right, let me stand on Maguire or stand on Varane and try and run in behind Maguire. Well, Varane is quick enough to kind of run with you. So you go, look, let me stand on Maguire and run behind Varane. So you probably get a little bit of joy, but Varane's recovery is so quick. Yeah. And Maguire, once he gets going, he's not slow. No, he's not. He can get going.
And he's quite aggressive. Like we saw it yesterday in the England game, like to step in whenever try to get at his feet, maybe.
Exactly.
Not to come through the back and foul, but just
to put a pressure.
Put pressure on.
It'd be
and in the air, like you weren't really.
What?
In the air,
what?
It's not really your thing.
I almost got a head at Old Trafford again. Bosh! Old Trafford again.
I mean, look at your head though. You didn't hit it.
Bosh!
Yeah, that's true. I hope we do get a centre half. Moving on towards the next bit of the show before we finish off as well. Why don't you like Bruno?
Do you know what? I like him. And listen, as I said there,
what's your thoughts?
He, for you, Manchester United, has transformed them. I mean, his numbers are ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we've watched him in the Euros now, and you'd have to say, when he's not on penalties.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, he's got the big dog there.
Yeah, no, you got fullback. You got fullback.
Yeah.
You don't even mind doing it.
No, you got to, right?
Fullback. Level.
Free kicks and all those levels.
Got a fullback.
Now, obviously, when he's not scoring the penalties, like where is his production in terms of that Portugal team? Because I tipped them as one of the favourites, but he's got nowhere near the same impact when he's not the main man,
he's tired. A hell of a lot
of football, because he's one of them as well. Once
I know Ronaldo has and stuff, but Ronaldo's
a machine.
Exactly, you don't really count that. But I know a lot of players in that team. You can say Bernardo Silva's played a lot of football, but he gets more of a rest than Bruno does.
Yeah,
but,
you have to say.
Do you know what I mean?
I expected more, if I'm honest, and I'm sure pretty much every United fan watching him at Portugal would have wanted him to do well because he's one of your own.
But at United, I was in the camp of, look, he didn't have the best Euros, obviously. It's fine margins. When he came on against France, it was like a 50-50 performance. There was some of him giving the ball away, could have given a pen away on Koeman.
Yeah.
And then the other time,
some of the passing.
Diaz should have scored a header from the corner. If that happens, then it's like goal involvement, assist, boom.
Yeah.
He dropped one over the top, like a 30 up, dropped right to Dallow's foot. He's in. Dallow Brockfoot makes it go out because he just messed up his touch. And he actually created the most chances for Portugal from coming on. Yeah. But he was probably trying a bit too hard. But at Man United, though, his numbers have been consistent.
Unbelievable. Not inconsistent. They've been
Do you know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
So is it a case of, as long as he keeps doing that at United, you can't talk to him? Whether you don't like his playing style,
listen,
or
you people say that.
Or do you think it will run out?
I think there is an element in terms of big games. He doesn't show up. And I've said that from day one. But as you said there, you could say that to him. But if he's still, like, put it this way, if it was me, and my numbers were, and they tried to throw kind of dirt at me when I first went to Charlton. I scored 22 my first season, and they said to me, well, you only scored 2 against the big teams.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? Not score the other 20, and just, do you know what I mean? But so people always look for something to say, and with Bruno, because he's had that kind of impact on United, you're going to get Liverpool fans because of rivalry, Man City fans going, well, he doesn't show up in these games, just because they want to kind of discredit him a little bit. But as you said there, I'm saying, well, he doesn't really show up in big games, but then when his numbers are as good as they are,
they have 30 games.
What can you say? You can't say onto it. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them where, if I said to him, if I had a conversation with him face to face, and said, well, yeah, hold on, but you didn't play well against Liverpool City, he'd go, yeah, no, but I've still got 20 goals. Yeah. So shut up.
Yeah. Is that as simple as it is?
As simple as that.
Would you be frustrated if you was in a team with him, or would you be like, no, he's doing his thing? Like,
well, no, because you have to say to him, he's not. You wouldn't say he's greedy.
Yeah.
I've seen him lay on chances for some of the centre forwards. So it's not like every time he gets it, he's shooting from everywhere. I've seen him look for his centre forwards, create opportunities. So as I said, as long as these numbers remain as incredible as they are, no one can really say nothing to him.
Yeah, I agree. I do think he has a playing style, which I've said on a few shows. I won't spend too long on it. I just think he has a playing style that, if those numbers aren't as high as what they normally are, then then like, what do you do? Like, what? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to continue to have a say. He's the pivotal point in that Man United squad. He plays a slightly different position for Portugal. I just think it was just different, and he was knackered, and it is a little bit English bias. Do I really care how we got on for Portugal?
No. Really. Let me ask a question. So player for player, in terms of all-round game ability, who's better, him or Pogba?
Pogba.
Yeah, see, I'm with you on that.
Pogba.
Yeah, I'm with 100%. You on that. Yeah.
Player for player, all-round ability, Pogba.
Yeah.
But you look at the impact that Bruno has had since he's come in. But I also do feel like Pogba needed someone else to help. Because if it's just same time as if it's all on Bruno, if it's all on one man to have to do everything, whoever it is going to get tired sometimes.
Well, boy, some people can sink or swim. Messi and Ronaldo, them boys, different levels.
They're not different players.
No, they're not. You're right. Ronaldo's been doing that for years. Don't 100%. Care. He likes it that way.
100%. And that's just a different breed.
Yeah.
In the tier below that, or even a tier below that, the third tier, but they're still
Is that where you
good.
put Bruno in?
Nah, he's got to be in the second tier.
You think? So you put him in there. So I'm putting Bruno maybe in third tier.
Third tier. I think
because he's not in the same as De Bruyne. Them man are second. Or would you put them in top tier now?
I think with the numbers that he gets and the consistency on the games, he's one of the best attacking midfielders in the world. He is.
Yeah.
He is, because the numbers say that. I know the eye test and common flex, like, I can only go off the evidence. Since he's come to Man United, 18 months, he's been consistent, loads of goals, loads of assists, loads of chances created. It's not luck.
It's hard, and listen,
so at this current time, as an attacking midfielder at club level, he has to be.
Yeah, it's mad.
I get it. I know people say, but the complex.
But again, that's the thing we just spoke about, is that when you look at his numbers, it's therefore to see. Like, so in terms of his all-round game, he might be some games against the big boys where you go, where's Bruno been? But if he's showing up the other 95% of the time, it's hard to kind of...
It's not luck.
No, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, if next season that happens, because everyone predicts it, people even predicted it last season. When he came on for that half a season, because he came in January, smashed it. The first full season, which was last season, people were going to go, they were saying,
Yeah.
He done that little thing, new bounce, just came in January.
On the unknown.
Unknown, everyone don't know. Now everyone knows about him. Look. Well, look what? Look what? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see this season, innit? Second full season.
You're not wrong.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at what point do you go, well, no, he just is actually good?
Now listen, that's one thing you can't say about him, that he's not good.
Yeah. I don't get that. There's some people who literally say he's shit in that, and I'm just like,
come on now.
He has a playing style that once the numbers dry up, if that happens, you have to have a different conversation. You have to question.
Well, listen, there's no professional footballers out there that are shit.
Exactly.
Because they're professionals.
True.
So regardless, yes, there's levels, but for someone to say, oh yeah, he's shit, come on now.
Must be some there.
But they're professionals. So how?
Yeah, I know, but they might just slip through the net, got through know people.
I'm telling you now.
Hey, won a competition.
Have you seen? No, they're probably won a competition.
No, I'm discrediting them. No,
won a competition to become a pro.
All right, yeah, that's a good point there. This is kind of off topic, but it's about football.
Yeah.
As fans, you've been a professional footballer, now you're on the other side of it, so you speak a lot more with fans, you do a lot more stuff like this. As fans, I'll admit, there are some players who go, he's not good. He's not good. Look at his touch. I'll say, like, right, how's he Prem? Like, he's not. Look at what it used to be to now, like, look at his touch. I'm not going to do the whole name and names.
Of course, yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
As an ex-pro yourself, there must have been other players at points of your career, or even you look at now and you think, how's he at this level?
Yeah, sometimes, but I'll never say that they're crap. Like, I played with some guys back in the day that used to ruin sessions, man. They were that bad. They
can't do keyboard.
Every time you get possession, give it away.
That's what I'm saying. So I think you're entitled to, not in a nice way, but you're say, bro, you're not, like, you shouldn't be at this level. You're not good.
Yeah, but still, and sometimes you go, oh my goodness, here we go. But then, you then go and watch them in terms of, we play like a team that's a little bit lower, like in a cup competition.
Yeah.
And then levels above them.
Yeah.
But obviously at our level, it's like,
yeah.
Oh, do you know what I mean? So it's, and even sometimes when you plan charity games and you go, I'm speaking to some of the guys and they're saying, I don't really rate him, I think he's rubbish. And then I watch them in the charity game, I'm like, should you really be saying that? Like,
that is a football fan thing.
And I think that's why we love it.
4 kick-ups. We'll say, oh, God, just score that shit.
Yeah.
I get that. That is you've been in the terraces, you probably had it loads.
Yeah.
Did you ever struggle with that? Like, just people trying to get onto you, just say, oh, he's not this, he's not that, if you want to come with criticism.
Do you know what, at first,
you're in a 100 club, so shush.
When I was at Ipswich Charlton, no. When I got to Spurs, I had a tough time there. That made me grow up. So do you know what? It really affected me in them 2 years at Spurs. Certainly the first year.
Did it get in your head?
Yeah, it did. I'm not even gonna lie. It got in my head. It was tough, really tough. Because we were going through a bad spell as well. It was really, really tough. But once I left Spurs, it was like I grew up. So anything anyone else said to me after that,
easy.
Don't care.
Where did you go straight after Villa?
No, I went to Sunderland. Obviously smashed up at Sunderland.
Yeah. Did you mean that?
Yeah, I knew it was there. Now, I remember this one particular game though. It was at Old Trafford. Shock again.
How many goals you got at Old Trafford? I bet you know every single goal.
A few. There's one. Yeah. About 10 minutes in, touch, whack, goal.
What? That's for Sunderland.
2-2. Remember, Kenwyn Jones scores at the end.
Kenwyn Jones
at the end.
Yeah, big Kenwyn with the dreadlocks.
Ben Foster. I think that might have been the last time Foster played for you know.
It could have been, yeah. Ben Foster, yeah. Yeah.
Bosh, 2-2.
You think you're sick, innit?
Nah.
What does that feel like as an opposing player actually scoring now?
At Old Trafford? Yeah. Unbelievable. Do you know what's even better? Nah, do you know what though? Do you know what I'll say this about United fans? Whenever we've done well there, so I've done well there for Sunderland, we drew 2-2, drew there 2-2 for Fulham. Every time we've had a goal, we've managed to leave there with a point. You know, as you're walking out the tunnel, they would give you a round of applause.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've always thought, you know what, that is mad respect. That walking off and they're going, because them times they were battering everybody, weren't they?
Yeah.
But we're walking off and they're going, mate, that is.
Yeah.
I always thought, you know what, class that.
It's proper.
Yeah, proper.
It is. That's good. That's good to hear because you don't always see that.
No, but obviously I guess if I'm at Liverpool or City, you're not getting that. But Sunderland, we fought like crazy to get a point. Nice, it was a nice touch.
Yeah. There you go. See, everyone outside United fans are the worst fans. See?
No, I wouldn't say that. No, far from it.
There you go. And you played at all of the grounds. You know
there are some worse fans than that. Trust me. Trust me.
Some stick. I don't know how sometimes you footballers just don't say anything back and that.
It's hard.
Really.
It's hard.
That's why I like
the hardest thing social media.
Vardy. Yeah.
Because you read it, well, I don't read anything, so it doesn't really bother me, it doesn't really fade. I might read one or two things, but I don't really read anything. But I can only imagine if you're checking it and then you're getting pelters like Kane before he scored that goal.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he's not checking his social media because he'd have been getting, do you know what I mean? And how does that help him perform for England that you want him to do well?
You want him to do for, yeah, exactly. It's true. Lastly, just a quick one on Marcus Rashford. Out of sorts in the England squad at the moment, not playing. I'd say rightly so, form-wise, and other players ahead of him doing well. But big season, he still scored over 20 goals last year.
It's mad, that.
And the season before that. So, you know,
it's hard because you're talking about, listen, Superman.
Yeah.
His numbers, again, the last 2 seasons have been very good. His performances, you'd have to say, have dipped. But I know,
Essentially needs an operation as well, you're saying?
It's a difficult one because you're basically weighing up an argument between him being an unbelievable human being and being a footballer.
Yeah.
And that's, it's as simple
as that. When we're talking about football, I think we should be able to...
But how do you separate it?
Because like, if the stuff that he's done outside of the football is never to even be...
But that's going to affect what's going on the pitch. Because he might be putting all his effort into making sure that kids don't go hungry. That surely... It takes takes its toll
to be that key figure.
And then
do you think that's been maybe difficult for him to manage, or just like might have affected him a little bit?
Potentially, because as I said, that he's done more than most in terms of what he's done for this country and the kids. Like he's basically gone to war with the government, hasn't he?
Yeah, and still got 20 goals.
And still got 20. So then, but you'd have to say,
but yeah, his performances have
dipped, and which is why. And listen, I'd admit it. When we did our teams for the start of the Euros, he wasn't in mine. I didn't put him in the team. Yeah. I didn't put Sterling in there, but Sterling's been unbelievable.
See, man, like you.
I didn't put Sterling in there, but I had in there. Did I have Sterling there? Did I have Sterling?
I bet you didn't. You probably had.
No, do you know I had? I had Foden because he was keeping him out of the team, and Sancho.
Sancho, okay.
I had Sancho and Foden starting. They were the guys I'd starting, but for Marcus Rashford, I'm fully expecting. Now it's kind of slowing down. It seems like he's got that kind of.
Technically, he's actually got a rest at the moment as well. He's training and that, but he's not really playing games.
He's letting his mind. But then again, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes in terms of the kind of kids thing.
Yeah.
Is he on the phone all the time, constantly having to think, right, what's next? The next initiative. So it's difficult. So he's in one of them unique situations that I don't think we've hardly ever seen a footballer being in before.
Yeah, it's true. Is it coming home?
Got an unbelievable chance. There's still we're getting to the final. The Ukraine, I watched them, offered nothing.
Yeah.
Denmark is the test because Denmark's the one.
Beat the Czechs, yeah?
I think they'll beat the Czechs, and how every other nation who's out of the competition are supporting Denmark.
Yeah, and Denmark got that. Obviously, with what happens, they just
feeding off the energy.
It'd be difficult.
But if England get past them and they get to the final, anything can happen. But you can have one.
Fancy us against an Italy, a Belgium, or a Spain? One-off game at Wembley at home, 60,000 allowed, I think.
Yeah, 60,000. Yeah, I'll give us a massive opportunity. Yeah. I think you've got to, but it's about getting there. And it also depends. If they get Belgium without De Bruyne or Hazard, you go.
Oh yeah, De Bruyne got injured, didn't he?
Yeah, and Hazard got injured.
Oh shit, yeah.
So you're like, ooh, but if them two are fully fit, you go.
Everything's dropping for England.
Everything, absolutely everything.
Everything's dropping for England.
So hopefully, we'll hope.
One more player I want to ask you about, because I know you spent some time with him as well, Jesse Lingard. He's obviously out of sorts at United, but went to West Ham and done really well. And now it looks like a choice between staying at Man United and trying to fight for a place, which me personally, I don't think he should do, and obviously making it permanent at West Ham. What would you think is the right move for him?
It's hard because we leave Manchester United because you talk about, again, the biggest club in the world, and one of certainly the biggest clubs in the world.
And what he is to that, like coming through the ranks.
Exactly, yeah. So it means more to him than probably most. But then he obviously was out of sorts at United for whatever reason in terms of off the pitch. He had obviously 1 or 2 family issues going on, which obviously you have to commend him and respect him for. 100%. That he had to deal with that. But then he wasn't playing with Bruno there as well. Bruno's impact kind of has side-parted him a little bit. They're really looking at other midfielders. And I think, well, for Jesse, he's gone to West Ham, and the pond is a lot smaller. But when you have the impact on the team like he's had, he's enjoying his football again, he's smiling, he looks like he's in a really good place. I was like, why would you jeopardise that? West Ham have had an unbelievable season. They're finished, 6th was it they finished? Why would you jeopardise that in terms of going back to United and fighting for something that... Like, he's not going to go there and be one of the main men at United. That's for a fact. Stay where you are. You've got a manager that believes in you. You've got teammates that absolutely love you. You love playing there. You've been the main man, playing really well. You've got yourself back into the England squad off your performances. I'm not upset in that. I'm in a good place there. I'm staying where it is.
Yeah, I think so. I think because he was close to even getting back in the England squad. I was surprised he didn't. When the Trent thing happened,
I was one of them, of course.
I thought, surely he's got to be Jesse, but it clearly wasn't. And I think to get his best chance of getting back in there, he needs to play regular football.
Exactly.
Especially because these young bucks are
coming.
Mason Mount's taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
Just won the Champions League. Phil Foden's going to get better.
Grealish is there.
Sancho's going to be at United. Yeah. So that you can't even really get a shout on the right.
Yeah, stay where you are. And as I said, West Ham are going to reinvest, get better and better.
In Europa next year?
Exactly. Manager loves you. You're playing well. You've got yourself back into that England squad. I know the temptation's there because you look at United and think, big club innit? I want to be there. But no, stay where you are, man. Yeah. Enjoy football.
Last thing before we wrap up, where are Man United going to finish?
Next season?
Yeah.
I've said it before, 5th.
5th.
Yeah.
5th?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay. Manchester City will finish ahead of you.
You just hate us.
No, I don't hate you. I don't hate you. Manchester City will finish ahead of you.
How do you know?
Do you think they will?
No.
You don't.
If we get Varane, a good centre holding midfielder,
And Sancho.
Okay,
then come back.
Oli can get
okay,
I think.
Come back and ask me then. But now,
Okay.
City,
Yeah.
Liverpool, because all their players will be back.
All right.
Chelsea, they're going to throw all kind of money at their squad.
Okay.
That's 3. There's 1 more.
Yeah. So we're not going to be 4th.
Okay, you know what?
Rubbish.
No, 4th. I'll give you 4th, not 5th. 4th.
Okay. So who's where Arsenal going to finish?
Top half of the table.
That'll be a start. That'll be back-to-back top halves. Yeah, well done. Listen, guys, thanks for watching United View. Actually, latest transfer news as well as a great insight from Darren, which it always is, man. Thanks for coming on.
No worries, man.
First guest, 50k. Guys, I think we can say that the road to 100k has officially started. Or if you follow KG, the road to 51 point something. Honestly, you don't know about that guy. But thanks for watching, guys. And we'll be back with a video tomorrow for you lot. Peace.